Okay, here is our locator part, and we are going to create our three views, our orthographic views, our front, our top, and our side. So you're going to use your construction layer that you hopefully have created. And I have my origin placed right here, and this is just for our reference. But you're going to be looking at this in your book. Okay, we're going to draw some construction lines. Go to Draw, click down here, and go to this third one over here. This is construction lines, and they have infinite length. So we're going to click on this, and we're going to do a vertical line to start. See down here in the command bar, you've got some options. Let's do our vertical first. Vertical. It says specify through what point. Let's do our 0, 0. And I'm going to press spacebar again, and I'm going to do a horizontal this time. 0, 0, and I'm going to press escape. Okay, so based off of these, I'm going to be doing some offsets to create our different views. So first thing, we need to figure out the overall height of our part, because we're going to put an offset here to show our height. 2.5 is our highest point. So we're going to go to offset 2.5, and we're going to draw our line right there. I'm going to press escape again. And let's figure out our width. So we're going to offset this, our total width, which is 5. Offset 5. Okay, pressing escape a couple times. Here is our front view extents. Everything's going to fit in this space. Now when we create our other views, we need to add a consistent space between each one of them. So I'm going to do another offset, and I'm going to do a distance of 1.5. There. And there. 1.5 I use most of the time, but depending on how many dimensions you're going to have hanging down in here, you may need to move these out. But just keep in mind that they have to be consistent spacing. So if it's 1.5 or more or less, you need to make sure that this space and this space are equal. Okay, let's find our overall, this would be, let's see, I can't remember. We've got our length would be here. This is our height, and let's do our width from our top view, and that's going to be 3. So we're going to do another offset of 3. There to there. And we also know that the width that we have of 3 is going to be the same from top view and from the side view here. So we're going to click this and offset that 3. Now, we're going to add our miter line that goes right here. And I'm just going to draw a normal line, and I'm going to snap here to here. Okay, let's trim away the lines that we don't need. All right, delete these out. Okay, here are our different views. Let's switch to our object line layer. And I'm just going to draw these boxes. These are our extents. And you're only going to have to do this step while you're learning how to do these. But you will develop faster ways to do these. But what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of be doing a lot of trimming with this. Okay, so we are going to now we're going to kind of add some stuff to do our front view. And once again, front view, is going to be right here. And you can see that right here. Okay. Go back over here. Going to do some more offsets. That's my dog drinking in the background there. Okay, so we've got this kind of L shape that comes down and over. So we've got I'm sorry, this is white on white. That's just terrible. But there's a 1 inch right here. And we've got this step down here, which is also 1 inch. So I'm going to go to offset, type in 1. I'm going to offset this line here and this line there. So that's going to mean that I can draw this line coming down here and this one coming here. There, there, and there. I'm going to trim away these lines that we don't need. Okay, so that was our first step, carving away at this shape. Okay, so this line projects this face up here. That's this line. And that's also would be this line looking down from the top. So I'm going to draw a line here to there. Okay, now we got some more offsets. We've got this little 1.0 in the middle here, and if we subtract 1 from 3, we've got 2 left over. So that means 1 on this side, 1 on this side. So I'm just going to offset again. Going to offset this 1 and 1. And I can draw a line here and a line right there. I can also draw a line from here to here and here to here. Okay, we're going to draw our little notches right here. That's these guys right here. So we're going to do that little notch, and the way that I'm going to do that is a little different than the book. You can use coordinates to figure out where that is. I'm just going to do some offsets. I know that it goes back 1.75 and then it goes up this direction 0.25. So offset, that's the same here. You're going to see me using shortcuts sometimes. 1.75. And offset again, and this is going to be 0.25. Oops, that didn't work. Offset 0.25. There we go. So object line snap here to there. Okay. You can do the one on the other side right now if you choose to, but I'm going to be using mirror for that. So I'm not going to worry about it quite yet. Okay, I'm going to draw my circle in right here. And my circle, I'm going to use offset again. Offset. It's going to be 2.25 offset from here. And it's at the center, which is 3 divided by 2, which is 1.75. Or sorry, 1.5. Offset 1.5. We're going to use that as our center line as well. So here's our center for our circle. I'm going to mirror this over here so I can do some trimming. So mirror here, enter. I can select any 2 points on this line and enter. I'm going to trim away to match the drawing a little bit better. And this line is trimmed away as well. And now we've got to take these little notches out that are on both sides, and that's these guys right here. So we've got a 0.25 coming from here to here, and we've got a 0.5 from here to here. So back to offset. Let's do 0.25 first, here to there, and offset again, 0.5, there to there. So that's this right here. I'm just going to draw a line from here to here. And then I'm going to use mirror again. Okay, and then I'm going to trim away there. Okay, we're going to start projecting this view down into this view right here. And our miter line, as a reminder, is right here. I'm going to just change the color so we can see it. I'm going to make it green. Okay, there we go. So we want to project every time there is a change in a surface. Okay, so we've got, this is our edge here, and then we've got a point right here. We're going to have a hidden line that's right here. We're going to have a line here. This is our center line, and then everything is mirrored the same as it is over here. So let's do, let's switch back to construction line layer and draw construction. And we're going to do a bunch of horizontals. So we're going to click horizontal, and then we're just going to click here, here, and we already have one right there. Let's go ahead and keep doing that. We've got one here. We've already got one here. We've got one here. It looks like we're good. Okay, we're going to be able to see these surfaces here. So these are going to be solid lines. These are going to be hidden lines. We'll get to that. So once again, that's what we're developing this right here. Okay. So I'm going to go back and draw more construction lines. Draw construction line, vertical. Now I'm just going to hit those same spots, but these are going to go vertical at every single one of these intersections here. Okay. I'm going to change a color on here just to show that this is our center line. I'm just going to make these orange for us. It's very easy for these lines to get very, very busy. So trim away lines that you don't need. In fact, we can trim away those. We can trim away these. I'll leave the other ones for now. Okay, we're going to draw some object lines. Okay, we're going to follow with our eyes. Here's the point. It goes over, it hits the miter line, and it goes straight down. We're going to do a trim. Really what it does is it comes and hits right here and goes down, but we're going to trim it later. Same thing on the other side. Point to the miter line and then straight down. Okay, we're going to draw in our hidden lines. Um, Hopefully we have a hidden line layer that we've created. If not, you may need to create a hidden line layer. Go to our line. We're going to follow with our eyes this point here all the way over the miter line and down. Same thing on the other side. Across and down. Make sure you're saving this, please. Switching back to our object line layer, we're going to add 2 more lines. That's this one right here. We're going to follow with our eye down here, there to there, and the same on the other side. Okay, now we have some more projections to do to figure out where this angle happens right here, that little notch, which is right here. Okay, we know that the angle starts here and goes down 30 degrees. So I'm just going to do a line starting here. I'm going to move my mouse right around in here. And right, this is our 180. So we want to do 180 minus 30, which is 150. I'm going to do a length of 3 tab 150. That was way too long, but trim. Okay, I'm going to mirror this across, but you could do it the same over in this direction. Mirror. And I'm going to trim. We don't need any of these. 1, 2, 3, and complete these. Okay, we're starting to get this figured out here. Okay, now let's draw where this line comes over here. We already have a line coming over and going this way. This is that step right here. So we're going to draw this line from here to here. And these lines above here, that one and that one, need to be trimmed away because that's not going on. That's for down in here. So we're going to trim again. Trim, trim, there, and there. Okay. Okay, I'm going to circle this because this is what we are going to be doing next. Right here, this notch. Okay. So this gets kind of detailed, or it gets a little complicated. So we've got this angle coming down, and then you can't see it from this angle, but we need to create a little notch. So we have to project this over to here, but then it stops, and then it goes up, and then it goes over. So let's do another construction line. Draw a construction line. This is going to be horizontal. We're going to touch right here. And we're also going to go to this one right here. Press escape. Switch to your object lines. Okay, we're creating this right here. You can see that it goes from here, it goes over, and then it goes up to a certain point here, and then it goes back over like this. That's viewing this angle. It's looking from the side. So it's this surface right here. When you're looking down from the top, it looks bigger, but when you're viewing it from the side, because it's at an angle, it's tilted back, if that makes sense. Okay, so we got to draw in this line coming straight down, so we're going to draw that line in right there. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, we need some hidden lines to show this in this view right here. So, construction line, draw a construction line, vertical, right there. Press escape. Hidden line layer, line, draw a line that goes all the way through to the bottom. And I think that does it for the hidden lines. We've got some center lines to add. I don't think I need my... Well, I'm going to draw a line right here, and a line here, and some other lines. So I'm going to switch to my center line layer. And I'm going to go to our Annotate tab. And we have center mark and center line right here. Center mark is to show the location of the center of the circle, and the center line is to show the center kind of axis of when you're looking at a hole from the side. It also shows symmetry. So I'm going to go to center mark, and I'm going to tap right here on this. That's going to locate the center there. Okay, we don't have any more circles, so I'm going to go to center line. I need to draw where this comes down to show the center of this circle. So I'm going to click on an outside line here and an outside line there. That's a very tall line. I didn't mean for that to happen. We also have to put one here. So center line, there, and there. Okay. I'm going to delete out our construction lines. We don't need any of these anymore. I have one right here too. This line is really long. So you can either redraw that or you just bring it down. And that is your finished drawing. Very tedious. It's really hard in the beginning, but once you've done it a bunch, you'll start to develop a rhythm that works for you.